Hey guys, welcome to A Castle of Salt, episode 50. Jesus Christ, that is a big one. All right.
Yes, my child.
I reckon. We're gonna. Should we do something special? No, we shouldn't.
Okay, honestly, on the schedule that we do it, 52 is far more important.
Correct.
I guess. 52
And then,
is more important.
you know
That's
what
2
we'll
years,
do
apparently.
for the 50th?
Although we've missed weeks, so like, does it really count?
I don't know. It's like 2 years ish.
And
And
then
then for 52, we can complain about DC Comics for years.
Dude, that series is great. Don't you shit talk DC 52.
Hey, New 50. Well, okay.
Batman New 52 is fucking great.
New
right?
52 is great, but there's like an on. Anyway, they've rebooted twice since then.
They have. They have done. Was that literally called Rebirth? Wasn't
Comics are stupid.
And then
Don't get invested.
Dark Knight's Metal, and then the death of Magic as well.
Right.
Magic's dying in the DC universe,
Ben-
and now Wonder Woman's a part of the Justice League Dark, and I've never been more invested.
Then you stop saying words.
I would say, speaking of which, this is Carl, that's Adam,
Hey, what's
I'm
up?
Ben.
What's up?
I'm going to tangent on some comic book stuff almost immediately because we're starting on that.
Let's go.
So, do you know what new revelation happened in Marvel's Cosmic Ghost Rider? And we're going to roll back a bit.
Are you talking about Ghost Rider comics?
No, I'm talking about Marvel's Cosmic Ghost Rider. Do you know about this, Adam?
No.
Okay, Carl does. He threw up when I told him the premise.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So,
Right.
Cosmic Ghost Rider is Frank Castle, who died, brokered a deal with Mephisto to become the Ghost Rider, then became Galactus's herald. Thanos killed Galactus and made Frank Castle Ghost Rider his right-hand man. So he has the power cosmic Ghost Rider abilities, and somewhere along the lines they've killed Sidorak, so he's got like the indestructible chains made from what Juggernaut has. He has, by the way, guys, this is
This is the dumbest shit I have ever heard.
It gets worse. By the way, guys, huge spoilers because that's just the initial premise stuff, and we're gonna dive right balls deep into spoilers. So, future Thanos dies.
I don't think anyone here cares about spoilers for this thing.
I would say Frank has gone back in time and is now raising baby Thanos as his stepfather. A fight just broke out, and future Thanos, from when Frank raised him, is now Thanos the Punisher, and I've never been more invested. Comic books.
I don't fucking know what to say to that.
It makes the World of Warcraft plotline seem sensible.
What is that? That's just insane.
Yeah, also you've missed Howard the Duck being the Juggernaut from a different dimension.
Let's just...
I'm just gonna stop.
In other non-comic book news,
Jesus.
I've been slam jamming out some indies on the Switch lately, so I finished majority of the campaign for Celeste. It requires collecting some obtuse as fuck collectibles to get the final chapter, so I was just like, I'm gonna put you over the side. I don't have...
I'll come back to this later.
I'll come back to this when I have time to work out how to do bizarre environmental puzzles. I also finally beat the final boss in Dead Cells.
Oh, cool! Congratulations.
So you finally...
Well done.
That's a weight off your shoulders.
Yep, now I have to do it 3 more times on increasing difficulties.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it's woof. Woof. And then so, with all this happening, I was like, fine, I give up. I'm gonna go get a new game. And I got The Messenger for the Switch.
Oh, cool. You were talking about that in our Discord. Checks out in Discord.
It's pretty dope.
It's good?
I'll show you guys later. It's like Ninja Gaiden NES Edition inspired. And then I wasn't ready for the commitment of a new Metroidvania because there's so many of them.
There's actually been some really good ones recently.
Is it not a Metroidvania?
So what this is initially it's a platformer. And then it kind of creeps the Metroidvania-ness up to you after a certain point. So it's like you're already invested by the time it becomes a Metroidvania. So it's
You're like, wait a minute, I don't know what I'm fucking playing here. This is a goddamn Metroidvania game.
Oh no!
You tricked me. You tricked me, the messenger.
So that's why I went for it, because I'm like, I'm not ready for like a straight out the gate Metroidvania, but if you're going to spring it on me gradually, yeah, I dig it.
I'll pay attention.
And then I finished up watching Final Space, as we were talking about earlier.
How good is that fucking show?
It's good. It's
really
actually
liked
recommendable. when you initially said it was good, I did not believe you in the slightest. I was like, it's Adam. He has a shit taste in sci-fi.
Hey man, I got that Netflix reviews, man.
Yeah. But dude, it's
a good show. I think it took me. I think the reason I liked it so much is it took me so much by surprise. I was kind of like, oh cool. I just wanted to watch something for one day that I was like, I gotta fold some laundry, so I'll put a show on while I'm watching. I'll pull a show on while I'm folding laundry, and I was like, this fucking show's amazing. It's really good.
And as I was telling
absolute sleeper
Leah earlier, it's directly not directly inspired. I feel it's directly inspired by like other cult classic sci-fis like Lex or Farscape, in that as opposed to your usual standard sci-fi galactic empire, blah 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 blah. It's focused on like one insane character on a ship and their impact on people.
There's a lot of weird 2001 Odyssey kind of call outs in there as well.
Yeah, there's
like some weird. It knows what it is, and it takes a lot from the genre, which is it's really fucking cool.
It's well
I
worth
recommend watching.
Now, a show that's not worth watching, which I've also finished lately, is called Paradise PD.
Where's that?
It's also on Netflix.
Netflix? Okay.
Yeah. It's like a crude, absurdist cartoon about a police department in a small town and their ongoing struggles with a fight against meth. Like, as in, there's a meth distribution point in town.
So is it like, what genre is it?
It's comedy. And
sounds hilarious. Sounds like a romp.
It's like it had
like a great time.
It had some moments where I'm like, yeah, that ain't bad, but then I was like,
yeah, I don't know, dude.
When you watch something and you're like, dude, take away, like, if there was one episode you'd recommend to anyone, what would you recommend? And it'd be like, not watching it. Okay.
That's pretty legit.
And then the last...
No, don't waste your time.
Yeah, I'll say, I sacrificed my time for you because I was laying in bed. And
well, it's not like I need my time. Okay, let's move on.
One more. And I've started reading A Roadside Picnic, which is the novel that Stalker was based off.
Okay.
So expect some sassy reports of that in the near future.
Okay.
Carl, what's up?
Wow.
Wow.
World of Warcraft. That's what's up.
Getting that wow.
Yep.
Getting that wow back into your veins.
Oh.
God, how's the taste been back on meth, Carl? Speaking of meth,
incidentally, go on.
I mean, it's a game that you can play.
Is it a good game?
I have a complicated opinion about that.
Is it better than the last couple of expansions? Short answer.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
That's something we're definitely going to dive into.
Yeah, I would say, is it in the bottom 3 expansions?
Also no.
Okay, so it's average.
Actually, bottom 3.
So missed.
Carl's going to offer up a controversial opinion right now.
Is it bottom 3? Okay, I actually don't know the answer to that.
All right,
that question.
You think about that. We'll tangent to Adam. Adam, what's
because like shortcut to the good part. The bottom 2 were definitely Warlords and Cataclysm.
And Mists of Pandaria.
Mist was good. Shut up.
It was good enough.
All right, so it does sound like it's in the bottom 3. Like
maybe I don't know. I'm not really sure how to compare it to Vanilla and Burning Crusade just because the design is so totally different to Modern WoW. But it's early impressions are. I mean, it's good. It has a lot of the same strengths as Legion in terms of being a game that you can play. Being a game that you can play for a long period of time and having good raids.
It's
and
by
good
no
dungeons.
means a bad
game,
expansion.
but some of the we'll come back to that.
Okay,
some of the mechanical design.
We got to dive into that. That's going to be our first thing. Briefly for me, will be something else we'll be touching on later. Is fucking Destiny. I've finally started playing Destiny's 2 Forsaken DLC, which is their year 2 whole thing. So I think they're doing a different thing now, like because year 1 was like they had Vanilla, and then they had Curse of Osiris, and they had a few other ones.
I was going to say you're just saying things. You expect them to mean anything to us.
So they're basically similar, just like expansions going through.
I
didn't play all of them.
They call them DLC. They call them DLC, but they're basically expansions.
Well, yeah. So they've got campaigns. So I treat that as an expansion. So they've got all these expansions. And year 2, I think it's like Forsaken, and that's year 2. that's everything. They are adding throughout this year and next year. They'll be doing like DLC drops and content drops, which may have new campaign elements, but it's all, I think everything is tied across this story arc.
Gonna say, didn't they brutally break the gameplay balance in the latest drop?
They fucking just took a hammer to it completely.
Because like
it's not bad though, to be honest.
In a good way or a bad way?
I have been playing a little bit, so I haven't kind of gotten used to everything yet, and I've only been playing campaign, so single player experience. But they basically changed the weapon drops. So like the original stuff is like you hold 3 weapons at one time. One is your primary, taking white ammo. Secondary, which is your energy weapons, taking green ammo, and third is your heavy, taking
beige,
heavy purple ammo. But
sounds like a dumb system.
But they've changed it, and now it's like each weapon goes in its slot, which is still primary, secondary, and heavy, and that goes on weapon classification now, not based on the.
I'm so confused.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, I've currently got 2 weapons, and they're both taking white primary ammo, and then the 2 weapons I hold, and then I have a heavy. Right. But some weapons you can't. They're not just 2 open weapon slots. There are classifications of what goes in slot 1 and what goes in slot 2. I think it's mainly based on weapon type, like revolvers, like shotguns will always be in weapon slot 2 now. Mm-hmm. Where shotguns used to be A or B or even C, depending on. Like,
so people would take 2 shotguns.
Well, that's what happened in Destiny 1, and they in Destiny 2 they changed that because that's what people be like. I'm taking 3 shotguns, of varying degrees of boom. Like, so especially in PvP, it was like, why would I fucking do anything different? But and they changed that, and now they've kind of gone back to Destiny 1 a little bit. What they've tried to do is like there was a lot of complaints around the lack of like. There's just a lot of like rigidness around the original system, and people are like, but I want to do this and this, and like you're not letting me have fun, and they're like, fuck it, sure, go.
So not letting me do this and this.
Let's have fucking cake, guys.
Not letting me have fun. Games are meant to be fun.
Yeah. So it's so far it's good.
Are they, Carl?
No, games are meant
they, Carl?
No, they're not. Games are meant to be balanced.
And I'll get into this later as well, but the game is like the story mode is fucking great so far. Like I'm very invested.
All right. Well, okay. Well, let's seeing as we're already halfway into it, let's begin MMO discussion because we've both been playing a fair bit of this lately, and it's been a lot of
new expansions, like a lot of new things coming out for MMO.
So I think I've been maybe a little harsh on the new WoW expansion.
But we got to point out as well, you don't like the general Horde versus Alliance thing as well.
I don't.
And that's basically what.
But I will say that I think the Horde story, which I've played at least, is actually really good.
Okay.
Because it doesn't.
So they're 2 separate campaigns, right?
That's right.
Where before, in the last couple of expansions, there've been 1 campaign, and
that's right.
Just kind of does it.
So does the Horde story involve you fighting against Sylvanas being a douchebag?
No,
Oh,
or are you
not
for
yet.
Sylvanas?
No, not yet. We are on her team.
You're pro Sylvanas.
There's two Horde stories at the moment. There's the war campaign, which basically involves you teaming up with Sylvanas,
ride or die, burning shit down.
Pretty much.
Sylvanas is basically the Trump of the Warcraft universe at the moment.
Yeah, and so basically what we're doing is we're basically finding killed in action Alliance naval heroes and raising them as zombies to fight for us. That's what's happening.
That
actually
sounds super dope.
It sounds pretty cool though. I will.
So wait.
Fucking awesome.
Did you so you have Anduin's dad? Do you res him? Because
no, we don't know. No, he got blown up. He doesn't have a body.
Oh, okay, cool.
But the rest of the campaign is you arrive on one of 2 islands, Zandalar for Horde, Kulturas for the Alliance, and the idea is that you want that island's navy so that you can wage war.
Right.
Okay? So I'm not sure about the Alliance side of things. As far as I can tell, a lot of it has to do with cults and witches and shit.
Yep.
It's very sort of, I don't know what the right word for it is. I haven't played it. So, yeah. What?
A cult?
A cult. Yes. Yeah. Very occult. The Horde campaign is basically like it's like dinosaurs and deserts and shit.
Also sounds good. And so far, you're really failing to sell me how bad this expansion is.
It's because it's not really that bad.
Yeah.
It's just not as good as the last one, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
So, but even I need to be a little bit more nuanced in that, because I think the single player content, the questing content, is actually a lot better than last expansion.
Yeah.
The zone design is better. They look better. It's more interesting. It just flows better. It was the journey from 110 to 120 was probably a lot more enjoyable than my journey from 100 to 110.
Cool.
It's the end game systems that I have a bit of an exception with.
Right.
And I think that's important, because that's, if you're going to play an expansion for some, you're right there?
Yeah, I wasn't facing you.
Oh, whatever.
Get deeper into the microphone.
If you're going to play an expansion for 2 years or so, you kind of want the end game systems to be really solid, you know?
Yeah.
That's where the longevity is.
Exactly. So I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but just to get everyone up to speed again, the short version is, in the previous expansion, you had these. It was sort of a lot of the power progression was centered around these legendary weapons.
Yep.
You got one when you started leveling. You put power into it, and eventually leveled it up and got a whole bunch of new passive abilities and active abilities from the weapon. Okay.
Yep.
But that was all, from their point of view, that was always like a single expansion feature. So at the end of that expansion,
those things are useless.
They gave them the chop. They're gone.
Yep.
So all the new abilities that you had from the previous expansion don't exist anymore.
Which is hard, because you feel like you've worked for this and you've earned it, and then you're like, it's gone now, fuck off.
Also, from a point of like story continuity, isn't that shooting yourself in the foot?
What do you mean?
Well, okay, so let's say there's this artifact weapon that you get in this story, in this expansion, and then they axe it once the new expansion comes out. Then anyone going through and replaying the old expansion content isn't actually getting the experience of it.
No, they're not, and I actually have a big problem with that as well.
Yeah, because you're kind of skipping through
so you still get the artifact, but you don't get the experience of leveling it up and having it slowly grant you more and more power. It's just gone. It's a stat stick now.
Yeah.
So what they replaced it with is you get a new legendary amulet, which you then level up in the same way that you did the old one.
Yep. Okay.
But rather than unlocking new passives and new abilities and stuff, what that ties into is some parts of the armor in the new expansion have passive abilities that require you to have a certain level in your amulet to actually use.
Right.
It sucks. This system sucks. This system sucks because when you're leveling up, it seems pretty non-restrictive. You know, you might have to wait a little while before you can fully unlock your leveling armor, but by the time you get to 120, you've fully unlocked all the armor that you have.
Yep.
You go into a dungeon, you get your first end-game piece of armor, and you can't use any of the passives on it.
What? Oh, the armor itself levels up.
No. Your necklace levels up, and then it's like trait 1. Your necklace must be level X to use this trait, to select this trait.
Right. Okay.
Okay. They're in like rings. There's like an outer ring, an inner ring, and a central point.
Yep.
It's sort of like, and the higher level gear also has like a second outer ring. So it's sort of like major passive, minor passive, defensive passive power increase. Okay. So it's sort of like, and so they might be like levels 2, 5, 8, and 9 to unlock them, right?
Yep.
But the point is, the raid opened this week, and nobody has a high enough level necklace to unlock any of the passives on the armor that the raid rewards.
So how do you level up your necklace?
You do quests, you get artifact power, and
so it's just a grind.
and it's a grind. It's a grind. The amount you need per level goes down every week.
Right.
It's essentially time gated. They're
so they don't want people bolting through and being like, I've got everything, I'm done.
No, well, more to the point, they don't want people feeling like they have to spend every living hour of the day playing the game, grinding out the power.
Right.
Which some people would if it was totally unrestricted. So what they do is they make the curve like super exponential, and then bring it down week by week. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So the most important question about this entire system is, can you customize what the necklace looks like?
No.
So you can have a huge clock.
It's invisible. See, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. The artifact weapons had unique models, and you could unlock like variants and different appearances for them, and it was actually kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, like pointless customization is what really makes MMOs fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
and so I guess the idea of this. So this is my main problem with this expansion is that their artifact power grind system just isn't as good as the previous one,
right?
And it's very binary. It's either you either have enough power or you don't.
Right. Okay.
You know, it's not sort of like, in some ways the previous expansion was like that as well. But it was like there was like a maximum level past which the gains like really started to drop off.
Yeah.
In the first patch of the expansion, that was you wanted to unlock every trait in your artifact.
Yeah.
Further points after that, you would put into like a passive slot, and it would slowly like give you like a minuscule damage or health increase.
You know, just slight bonuses.
Yeah,
like 0.5% per level, where a level might take you a week.
See,
man, when you look at it that way, World of Warcraft has a grind system that nothing else has.
But the point is with that system is that by keeping the effort to reward ratio so minuscule, the idea was that the point was you're not supposed to be chasing it.
Yeah.
It's there as a minor bonus if you want it. But what you really should be doing is taking that artifact power and putting it into a different spec.
What if you take that power and put it over here?
So that's what they wanted people to do with it. And then as the expansion progressed, they increased the level, like the max power level. So like after when the second major patch hit, they increased it to like 52, and when the final patch hit, they increased it to 75.
Right. Okay.
That is some weird ass numbers to choose.
But as you were going up towards those levels, progression was sort of smooth. It's like as you were in the original patch, as you were heading to 31 or whatever it was, every time that you would go up a level, you'd get a new trait. Okay,
right,
and some of those traits would be major abilities, and some of them would be minor passives. But you were slowly getting stronger.
Every time,
When you go up in the current expansion, when you go up an artifact power level, if none of the gear that you're using unlocks at that level, you get nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to have your level as high as you need to get all the traits you want,
and then that's it.
But you don't need it for anything else, and you're not rewarded for getting in between levels.
Okay.
Right.
So as a new player, would you recommend starting WoW at the moment?
Maybe. I think it's still worth playing. I think it's still a game worth playing. Yeah. But I also kind of feel that if you're starting from level 1, the journey to level 120 will be very confusing, because there's like they've designed it in such a way that they've basically done one shot expansion gimmicks that they just chuck away at the end of the expansion, and then it just doesn't make sense anymore.
So would you recommend it for a returning player?
Also, well, I know one returning player. A friend of mine came back to the game and he really likes it.
Probably.
Because of this expansion. Probably. But as somebody who was active all the way through Legion, it just seems a little odd.
Also, a lot of people seem to be returning to it because it's Horde vs Alliance, and for a lot of people that ticks their box, and they come from that kind of era originally of WoW, where they're kind of our age.
Yeah.
So when they were like 13, 14, 15, that was the big flavor then, and so they're like, fuck yeah, I want to get back onto Alliance vs Horde, because that's what associated
I'm a filthy raider, so the PvE stuff's always been more enjoyable for me, so I don't really care about that.
I don't like the division of an MMO player base like that, but that's just me.
Me neither.
So this is interesting, like, and it contrasts what Destiny does, because Destiny's like all about like everyone's a guardian, you're all on the same team, but you do have factions, but you only have to, when you do faction rallies, you only sign up to a faction for the week that the faction rally is on, and you change every time. You can change your faction every time the rally comes up, and if your faction gets the most amount of points, then you get a reward. It's just like
it's fluff.
It's just extra stuff to keep you going, and they give you just decent rewards.
Yeah, see, I think the World of Warcraft team is kind of in a bit of a box here.
It's definitely bound around that concept,
because the factional conflict, for better or for worse, essentially defines the game.
Because I think in Destiny 1
they keep having
stuck with it.
They keep having to invent more and more ludicrous reasons for hostilities to break out again, so that they can keep it as the defining.
Yeah.
So
defining point of the game.
What you're saying is that WoW needs a huge reboot and return back to base level where
So
either
WoW
they
Classic.
keep it. So,
Yeah,
oh,
that's actually coming, right?
I know. You should be used to the deep layered sarcasm. So
am I going to play WoW Classic? I'm
Yes.
also not sure.
Well,
I'll probably check it out, but I don't think it will
Absolutely.
replace retail.
I mean, assuming I have a computer at the moment, when WoW Classic comes out, I'll be giving it a whirl.
Is that still a subscription service? Still the same?
We don't know.
Oh,
All we know about WoW Classic is that it's coming.
It's going to happen.
and that they've
on the way.
and that they've decided that they're going to try and use the modern client with old data. Like they've done a bunch of experiments where they've tried to boot up like the original code, and it sort of worked.
That's very reassuring. Oh, it's sort of worked. They're fine. We can release this.
And it sort of works, but they're going to try and use the modern way of doing things with the old game data.
Right.
Well, I mean, once again, your code base, when it's been running for this long, you don't exactly expect your original set of shit to work anymore.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
They've torn that thing to shreds.
Well, I'm actually surprised that they reckon that it worked at all, to be honest.
Yeah,
because
that is impressive. It's sickening.
So that means that the code for all the old systems like the talent trees is still in there somewhere.
Actually, that's more worrying. That's more like, would
you like to look at that code base, really? Do you want to see like what 10 years of development looks like?
That's a lot of spaghetti.
If they've never removed anything at all. My fucking god.
I do want to have a look at it because it will justify my drinking. Probably.
It would be
make
worse.
Make us feel better about our jobs, maybe.
You walk into business and be like, congratulations, you're the new developer. You get in and you be like, quit.
I'm out. I have to cover this room
Jesus.
in whiteboards just to make sense.
You're on WoW Classic. Fuck, I'm out. Bye.
Okay, so more positive stuff. The raids are good. The dungeons seem all right. I mean, they all seem a little cramped.
Yep.
Compared to the Legion ones, but that might just be my impression.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my main issue with the expansion is that it is so similar to the Legion, but doesn't quite hit the same notes. Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, I really don't feel like playing WoW at all. Do you want to try and lure me into the Destiny camp, Adam?
Yeah, well, so what I've been really enjoying about Destiny and the Forsaken stuff, I haven't actually gotten that far in. I played for about 3 or 4 hours last night, and that's as far as I got. So far, the story's actually been really gripping. They've taken it's much more in a darker tone than Destiny's used to. Mainly, like, obviously they amp their stakes up immediately by killing the most beloved character that they have. So
taking a page out of WoW's books.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's darker than usual. We burnt the world tree.
Pretty much.
Well, they've done the same thing 2 expansions in a row now in WoW. It's sort of like
we killed Gildon.
There's people that have a lot of the guys in my clan have already finished the campaign. The campaign actually as well is actually much more drawn out. Like it used to in Destiny
drawn out
expansions.
doesn't sound positive.
Oh no. So this is like from what I've gotten as reviews as well as what I've kind of gathered from my 4 hours is that it just spaces. So generally what happens is you'll get story missions and you'll be like, do this mission, then you do the next mission, and you basically I generally crash the campaign out in like 3, 4, maybe 5 hours. Whilst also doing the side quests as well.
That sounds really short.
It is, but the thing is as well, like the thing of Destiny is like it's always like the end game raids. It's always like all the extra shit. It's like the campaign is just like usually it's just flavor to get you into the theme of the whole thing. It's not really the driving force.
Right.
Where they've definitely been like, okay, we're gonna make focus on the campaign. We're drawing everything out. So, but in a way that the power level. So I got the standard like icons for like main quest missions for Forsaken. Did the first one, which was the introduction mission, which is like all in a completely walled off area kind of thing. It's like a whole flat area, like it's in a prison. That's fun as fuck. That mission was fantastic. I actually recorded all of it, so hopefully we'll get some of it up. But
is it like a Prison Break?
Yeah, it
sort
is.
of thing.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing, and you're just running through, shooting everything. So it's so much fun.
Were you singing Jailbreak to yourself as you do? Jail.
No, man. Like I was too busy shooting things with my fucking fire explosion gun. Like I was having so much
fire
fun.
explosion gun.
Basically,
you're gonna need to.
Yeah, I'm like,
one of my
I'm trying to
exotics.
picture
One of
the-
my exotics that is one of my favorite weapons to use, just because it feels so satisfying.
So
is this,
are exotics like yellows?
yeah, they're the yellows. Yeah. So is called the Sunshot, and basically what it is it's just a high damage revolver.
It fires miniature stars at people.
Pretty well. That's like kind of the idea. It's like solar damage. So if you kill someone with, it doesn't need to be a headshot, but if you kill someone with the Sunshot, and generally because it's a revolver, it's short to medium range and reasonably high damage, and pretty high damage at that range. If you kill someone, a lot of times as well, these weapon effects will only pop off if you kill them with a headshot. This gun is just kill someone. They explode in like a huge burst of ball of fire. So basically for mob control, you just walk in by yourself and you're just shooting things, and the thing is, it's also like if something dies due to one enemy being set in a ball of fire, they also get set in a ball of fire. So you can shoot things and just chain explosions everywhere. It's fucking amazing. It's so much fun.
Not the most subtle weapon in the game.
Oh, it's not at all. It's a lot of fun.
So far, Destiny's definitely winning on my interest scale. Do they have a miniature black hole gun, by the way?
So they have. Actually, no. That's a super. That's similar to a super they have in a hunter class. That's called Night Stalker, and basically it's like a bow and arrow super. You pull out this bow and arrow made out of void material, and you shoot like a spot, and it's basically a gravity well that pulls everyone in to that spot, and anyone tethered to that spot basically gets, every bullet on them does crit damage, and basically it's all good for raids. Basically it's a raid weapon, and the exotic legs that go with this that are specifically made for this subclass that I use, you get super, which is like your energy to do that move. Because that's your ultimate, basically.
Man,
you do that, and then what it does is every time you tether someone, it drops extra energy. So if you tether about 10 people together, you get your super straight back again. And you're just like, bang, 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 bang. It's like, there's a reason that class is like, if you don't have at least one of them in your raid, you fucking know what's the point.
So I've actually been reading up on some Destiny stuff, and someone got this helmet, which basically said when you kill someone with your super, recharge your super.
Yeah.
And then
those effects are the best.
Their super is a ground stomp.
Oh, that's the Titan. That's the best super for offensive damage, and they gave it a helmet that's like, kill someone with this and you get more super damage.
And so basically,
pounding this fucking shit.
Watching the video of it turned Destiny into Borderlands.
Oh, it's nuts. It's nuts.
I was just like, wait, what is this game now? Because it's just like...
So it's just people ragdolling all over the screen and shit.
Yeah. Yep. The people like Bungie, props for Bungie, like they've really tried over the last couple of expansions to make the game like as fun as possible, and make the game as satisfying to play and shoot shit.
Also, don't get used to that helmet, because that shit's getting nerfed.
Like, a lot of the stuff in year one, here's the next point, a lot of stuff in year one, so all new drops have like they have all Forsaken logo in the top corner to be like it's a year 2 piece, and I was like, oh cool, they've like, I got a War Mantis, which is like a standard rare, like a blue drop. It's like nothing, they just drop every once in a while, and I was like, cool, it's a blue, it's just the year 2 version of the same year 1 chest piece, and everything now has random stats on it. They have the same, like they have the same power level stuff, but like they have random abilities on each piece. But upgrading, you can upgrade your year 1 stuff to year 2 stuff, to year 2 structure. But I looked at it and I was like, holy fuck, it is expensive to do that. So
can you pay real money to do it?
No, it's just in-game stuff. It's in-game stuff, but I was like, that grind's gonna take me fucking forever. So I'm gonna have to try and figure out what I want to take over, because I don't have the best shit in the game, but I have some pretty good stuff that I want to take.
Or you have to sign your life away and just grind it forever.
Or I have to re-find it and re-get it.
Yeah.
In year 2 version. So
So, and finally,
Is it moving the goalposts? Is that it? What do we think about that? Is that a legitimate way to extend content, or do we think it's bullshit?
Oh, fuck.
Dude, that's how MMOs extend the content all the time.
That's the problem. I understand. Like, I saw that and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! Like, all of my things that I was like, they better give me masterwork cores and shit that used to be really hard to find. They better give me that all the time now, or I'm not going to be able to upgrade fucking anything. Having said that, though, I think they're trying to push you to be like, you gotta do it again. And year 2, and to be honest, they did that in Destiny 1 for year 2 as well. They did a big overhaul and they went, okay, cool, you guys can upgrade your shit, and there will be some guns.
But we prefer you just did it all again.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
so what makes a good MMO expansion?
I think, like, I really enjoy the expansions. I generally play Destiny as the biggest MMO I play consistently, and for me, what makes me enjoy the expansion is, like, I do like an engaging storyline. If it's kind of like a bit meh, I mean, obviously if the endgame stuff is fun, like, it'll be good, but the Forsaken stuff for me, I've been really engaged and really wanting to go back and see what pans out, and the pacing of that, I was saying as well, has been good, because I got to a point last night where they gave me all of the sub quests, and that was taking down each one of these 7 it's kind of got a Wild West vibe to it, and you've got to take down each of the 7.
See, also still more appealing than WoW at the moment.
And they're already dropping. They gave me all 7 immediately, and I could see the power levels for all of them, and they're all like ranging between what I'm at now, which is like 360, and like 440. And I was like, okay, cool. And then when I get all of them, they'll give me the final boss of all of it, is my assumption. But like, automatically, that I can already see the big picture of what I'm going to do and push forward.
Yeah.
Rather than be like, do this mission, and each is like 10 points high. Because generally, they just cram all the missions together, so you can literally just go boom, 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 boom. They're actually saying, okay, you need to raise your power level. You need to get some weapons. You need to get some shit. You need to go on you need to do the strikes. You need to do all this stuff. And then when you're strong enough, take down the first guy. And then do it again. And then take down the second guy. And then take down the third guy. And I think that, to me, is like more appealing. And that actually is going to hold my interest more than smash the campaign out. There's a whole bunch of post-game stuff which I may or may not want to do. And then just get into it then.
Yeah, so they've actually given you like good structure.
They've actually spaced out the grind in between campaign. They make me want to do the grind because I want to see how the story unfolds, because now I'm engaged in the story. So that was really interesting. This is a different thing that Destiny's done, and I very much appreciate it.
So what I want to ask is, what constitutes as an MMO? As you guys both know, I don't normally go for things with subscription-based services.
You play RuneScape, don't you?
Not for like a decade, maybe more.
Not for a very long time.
But I play stuff like Monster Hunter World, and I got really into Let It Die as well, which are both single-player games with MMO structure to them, if that makes sense. So I'm going, what constitutes as an MMO? Because what I want from my expansion to a game is added challenge. As in, I want something new and difficult to do, where having beaten the initial one, I will be, challenged to go through the new stuff.
Yep. Okay, well, my MMOs are WoW and Final Fantasy 14, which are very similar in what they do.
But they're also very different in the way that they do structure and story, though.
That's right. That's right.
That's the core difference.
That's right. Final Fantasy 14 is much more story oriented. It's time to cap in every new expansion is much higher. Than WoW's. It takes a lot longer to get from the old cap to the new cap. The first time anyway. Because because it's super the plot is super linear. Whereas in WoW, it's sort of like, well, you have these the way they've been doing it the last couple of expansions is, well, you have these zones, you can do them in any order. They have a self-contained storyline and side missions, of which you can do as much or as little as you want.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So people that do spend more time will go faster.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
I kind of enjoy the story pacing more though.
But the main thing that they do is that they move the game design on. Like in these two games, the way that things have happened is every time an expansion has come out, a bunch of design has changed. They've made a bunch of tweaks to all the classes. They brought out new classes or changed some specializations so much that they barely resemble themselves anymore. And so we look to major patches and major expansions as it's going to shake up the way that the game actually plays, not just in the new content, but overall. You know, like what you were talking about before with the weapon.
Yeah, just like
not the gear, but the way that the weapon slots.
Oh yeah.
That they do that like that's sort of the whole point,
right?
You know,
that's not common.
And I guess that sums up why I'm a little disappointed with the current WoW expansion is that I think I'm not sure that the at least for the class I play, the changes were a net positive.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Because I think we've touched this on previous podcasts as well. I think the idea, like, you're spending a lot of money on these games, and you're also spending a lot of time, and you want to feel like, and you may have, generally you'll have a single character, you'll have your main.
Yep.
In Destiny, you can have up to 3, and I know other people have alt accounts as well. But generally, you have like a main character. You spend a lot of time on your characters and building them up, and the whole idea of video games in general being adventurous and growing is like a thing that most video games kind of touch on, with the exception of like sports games and so on. But like the general adventure storyline game is something of a growth. And I feel that like MMOs take that even further, because if you don't feel like your character is growing, you're spending so much time, you're investing so much into this, you want to feel like what you do means something.
Yes. And it's a two-way thing, as in you have invested and you're planning on investing.
Yep.
So when they release something that you're just like, this is not appealing right now, you're just like, well,
it's again, I have to qualify. It's not appealing. It's just not hitting the same heights. I mean, I might feel different about it once I see all the content, because I guess maybe the comparison I'm making isn't 100% fair, in that I'm comparing the first patch of this expansion with all of the previous expansion. Well, you know what I mean?
But maybe the thing is though, you've got to evaluate as it goes.
But then again, a game should be fun.
You shouldn't wait. We don't need to wait 2 years to be able to say, can we have a review now of that expansion?
Yeah. Here's the other thing that's interesting about this, that I found a bit interesting about the expansion, because of the way that because WoW is such a gear centric game, and because they want to reset everyone's progression. Every expansion. As I leveled up, my character got weaker.
Oh, you're like, I don't want that level.
As I leveled up, my character got weaker. My damage output went down as I leveled up.
That's very poor.
But how?
That's not good.
How?
I think you made a serious miscalculation in your game if that's
I think it's because okay, so how it happened. We spent so long on this. Do I want to go into this now?
I would say we'll just call it Final Fantasy 18 yourself.
The short version is, as you go up, the amount of each stat that you need to actually increase that effect by a percentage point goes up.
Right.
And that scaling factor increased more rapidly than the stats on my gear.
Okay.
Because I went now, if you're just leveling 1 to 120, you won't notice that. But because I started as a max
level in the previous expansion.
Well, not max level, but like close to, like in like gear from the final raid, like much stronger than a base level 110 character. They had to basically invalidate all that progress and have so that you could start fresh.
Backwards.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah.
Also, my final thing on Destiny as well. I would actually, to your questions, Ben, I would say that if you want to pick up Destiny now, especially for the PS4, it's available. You can get the base game for free now. You just got to get the Year 2 DLC on top. I would actually say it's worth it if you're looking at playing it. I think the base game is still fun to play through as well, and there's a bit of story, but all of the rework of the way the weapons work and everything is going to apply back to the base game as well.
My second question is, does it have crossplay with? Does the Xbox crossplay with PC, or
no?
Does everyone in their own little standalone?
No, everyone.
I
think the main issue there is roughly around PvP, just generally because mouse and keyboard versus
you
controller.
can wire a mouse and keyboard up to your Xbox One and play Destiny that way.
Can you?
You can.
Is it out on PS4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you crossplay with PS4? See what I did there?
No.
We don't need crossplay. We're the best.
Okay, so
Right.
in conclusion, if you were thinking about playing WoW, you should still probably play it because it is fun.
Yeah.
But there's nothing in it that's going to. If you're on the fence or you didn't like it before, there's nothing in the new expansion that's going to change your mind.
And if you want an MMO without all this boring chore stuff about recalibrating systems, go play Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I've got some guys that also in my that are in my Destiny clan that also all play Monster Hunter, and
It's
day one, jumped on, played a little bit. I was watching them because I was like downloading all the updates, and I was like saying, "Oh, playing Destiny 2, playing Destiny 2, playing Destiny 2." Like half an hour later, it said playing Monster Hunter, and I was like, "Okay, cool. That's like a little worrying." That immediately like, nah. But there was some new content released for Monster Hunter.
There's always new content in
and
Monster
apparently
Hunter.
there's some new like big hunts and stuff.
Oh
really
yeah, Arc Tempered. I can't remember what. Kushala Dora, which is like big,
That
big
game's
fun, big.
That
Right.
game's a good game that you can play by yourself.
All right.
if you don't want to.
Okay.
Anyway,
let's talk about some other stuff.
continue.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We've been talking about MMOs for like 40 minutes now because we were going to talk about Nintendo again today because there was meant to be a direct. A
But
couple of
like
days
nothing
ago.
happened, and we're like, no
Well-
news and fuck. Okay,
Well,
cool.
yeah. Well, they had
Let's riff for 40 minutes.
they had an earthquake, so they had to delay it.
Well, yeah, it's fair.
Fucking god.
Yeah, I know. But which is
Oh,
kind
it's-
but
Who
it's
would have
kind
thought building a city right where there's so many natural disasters
Right on
would
the
be a
fucking
bad
fault line.
idea?
so this is going to be really awkward for Nintendo when they actually do get around to their direct, which is probably, I don't know, I'd say probably next week sometime.
So what we're gonna do?
Because a lot of the stuff that they were planning to drop like that day is now already out.
Which, incidentally, like, and as we all know, when you delay something, you have to
Yeah.
go out and try and delay everyone else, which didn't happen.
Yeah.
shit.
So
so
Everyone went, cool, we're releasing our stuff.
so the Mega Man 11 demo is out.
I have not played that yet.
We haven't played it yet.
fucking need to play
but
that.
the
um,
only comment I can say is you can't jump through the top of doors anymore. It kind of like puts you at the, you know how in Mega Man you used to go at an angle and you'd come out at an angle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that doesn't happen
So
anymore.
you jump and then go up.
No,
No,
you
no, no,
jump,
no.
and then it puts you at the bottom.
Yeah, it's like if you jump at a door, when the door opens, you fall to the floor and then walk through. It's amazing how such a minor thing just feels so wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, that, like immediately I'm like, oh, I can't.
It's like how you imagine if you couldn't strike a cool pose at the end of Castlevania with
Yeah, I
your
know that
skill.
would.
It's like,
I know that would suck, wouldn't it?
yeah, like why would we do this?
But you want it? No.
Um,
Oh well, I'm sure the game is fine. If that's the only
I
issue,
would
then I'm
say,
sure we're
if
fine.
that's the thing we're complaining about.
So someone, yeah. So we haven't played the demo yet. Watch this space.
We fucking will.
We'll probably
We
have
will.
We'll have opinions soon.
Yeah.
Um,
So actually, where can we get this demo? Only on Switch?
I believe it's only on Switch at the moment. Could be wrong, but pretty sure it is.
Somebody leaked the name of the next Yoshi expansion. It's
Yoshi's
called-
Crafted World.
That's
it
right.
looks majestic as fuck if
So-
you've seen the trailers.
So we're talking about Minecraft, right?
yes, it's
Yoshi's
basically
Minecraft.
Yoshi Minecraft. No! Shut up! It's Papercraft.
Roblox. No.
What is it's like a Yoshi diorama. It looks
So
amazing.
Paper Mario v Yoshi.
So like Octopath, but Yoshi.
Ooh.
Oh.
But except it's not pixelated.
Yeah, no, it's
right.
like it's
Like
actual.
it's the clean line work stuff of
yeah.
Yeah.
Paper
So
Mario.
like Paper Mario, but you can like flip into the foreground and you're in the house, and it's got, like I said, the diorama effect that happens in Octopath. It looks
Now,
pretty dope.
now Ben, you were telling me earlier today that when the Direct was first announced, they used the Famicom color scheme.
Yeah, so it had that sick ass crimson and gold,
Yeah.
which is a good indicator that they're going to be announcing some of their online service apps.
Wild speculation time.
Yeah. Let's put up the disclaimer. Everything that we say from this point on is wild
speculation.
Yeah.
Well, actually, not everything. I mean, there's two other things that we know for sure that are happening, which is Civ 6 got accidentally announced because...
That's cool.
How is that going to work on?
I don't know how that's going to fucking work
on a console.
But
Switch.
can you imagine
Let
that?
alone a Switch, not just like a console. Like, how the fuck are they going to do that on
Well,
Switch?
they ported...
Is it going to use the touchscreen? Maybe.
I was going to
Who
say that
knows?
because they've ported Civ to an iPad before, so it's doable. And the other one is HD version of Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Editions coming to things.
So that's basically Final Fantasy 15 with...
Chippies!
Yeah.
It's available on PS4 and Xbox now.
Wait, I've got to have a look at this artwork. And so...
Yeah, you're like, hang on, let me look up Pocket Edition. So, wild speculation while he's typing away.
Okay, yeah, hit me.
What fucking NES/Famicom games do you want for the online Switch play?
I don't really want any of them.
What? Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck, that's adorable. Holy shit.
Put it on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay, so that's coming to Switch.
That's awesome. I love, what the fuck? Gladio, my boy. Oh my god, what a fucking triangle. Look at these legs. Man, that's awesome.
So, is this enough to get you to play through Final Fantasy 15?
He already
again?
did. He already did.
Again.
Oh, right.
Disclaimer,
Let's be honest, probably not again.
Probably not again. Not.
It's better than 13.
Wait.
And 15 was a half-finished game, and it was still better than 13.
So
wild speculation. So Famicom.
Anyway, continue.
Okay, so Famicom Colors means Famicom games.
Yes.
Right?
Hopefully.
Is it going to be any that weren't released outside Japan?
Well, I mean, what important Famicom games weren't released outside of Japan?
I don't know.
I'm like, Doki Doki Panic? Oh, wait, no.
No, well, I mean,
Mario 2, bro.
I'm pretty sure they don't have the license to the original
Doki
characters
Doki.
in that anymore. Maybe, I don't know, because it was part of a promotion originally.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still trying to, I can't think of anything. Oh, but
Yeah. I'm coming up blank on anything that's, not super niche, like Gradius 2.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of what games you could put on your online service from the NES era that's actually going to draw people to it.
Is it possible that they're just doing the Famicom games because the Famicom colors because they know it's a established, people will make that connection, and then hopefully it'll be more than just the Famicom games. Because as you said before, Famicom for us, we know some Famicom stuff, but Famicom is not something that's heavily requested, right?
I would say.
Well,
it
I
is.
mean, well, yes.
Like Super Nintendo.
No, well,
and
yes, and no.
GameCube,
Remember when the NES
right?
Classic came out, which is essentially, or the
Yeah.
Famicom and the Famicom Classic, and remember.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Can you quickly Google what games were in the Famicom Classic that weren't in the NES Classic? Because that might be a hint.
All right, so we're typing that up. So
Yeah.
my bet is it's going to be terrible online games with added multiplayer functionality. So we're going to see Ice Climbers
Yeah, probably.
because we already got Balloon Fight.
I don't think I've actually played.
See, a lot of this stuff, we're looking at the Famicom ones.
What?
Oh
No,
shit,
what-
Ice Climbers
NES
is
Classic?
on.
Wait, whoa. I don't think that's the list. I think that's just Google.
Isn't that not?
Yeah.
Yeah, just click in the NES Classic Edition, dude.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, sorry. We might need to edit this a bit.
No, it's fine. They'll be used to
Live
it.
podcasting.
Podcasting.
Okay, here we go. JP exclusives.
Okay,
right.
cool.
Oh, it was that list. Okay, Final Fantasy 3 was in their version. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
interesting.
Screw you.
I can't wait for NES Open Tournament Golf.
Hey, that's a great game, by the
Wait,
way.
River City Ransom wasn't in the NA version? What the
No.
hell?
Ha ha.
Okay,
Anyway,
right, whatever.
But apparently we were NA Power were the only ones to get Castlevania 2 on there.
But Castlevania 2 sucks.
It's the worst.
Donkey Kong Jr.?
Yeah, that's good. Kid Icarus and Punch Out are also dope
Punch Out featuring Mr. Dream.
because they couldn't put Mike Tyson in it anymore.
Yeah, I know. And Tecmo Bowl, that's a good one.
Yeah, as is Star Tropics.
Yeah.
So the question is, what games would you bundle into an online service that you would shoehorn crappy online
Okay,
play with?
alright, let me think. Multiplayer NES games that I would play over the internet.
Yes. So Balloon Fight.
Yeah. No, well, maybe. I mean, well, it's going to be there,
that's
you know that
already
for sure.
That's already confirmed.
So do you think they'll be doing...
Ice Climbers?
Yep.
Like Super Mario 3? Maybe.
No, that's not really like simultaneous two-player. That's like sequential two-player.
It does have the battle mode in it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the battle mode's already confirmed.
Bubble Bobble?
Yeah, no. Yes. That's dope.
Battletoads?
If they could beat up someone for the license, that would be pretty cool. Can you imagine like multiplayer Battletoads?
Man, that game is fucking amazing. That game is the only game I've played where playing with a second player is actively harder than playing in planes.
I mean, like some of this stuff is tied up in licensing. Like Double Dragon would be pretty good, but like it depends on if who owns is that Capcom?
Yeah, Capcom's pretty generous with their licensing.
We got Mega Man, so
Yeah.
Mega Man. God damn it.
but yeah.
Yeah. So
Look. I mean, it's going to be a nice bonus because, like, unfortunately, we're kind of over a barrel here because we're all going to need to get the bloody online service because we want to play Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
Well, I mean, are we gonna play? Did you guys play Smash Brothers online on your 3DS?
I did not.
I will be playing with you guys for sure. I'll be playing definitely online more, especially because my brother, who like during the week,
And I'm going to need
We're not the
the
same
online
location.
service because I want to play through Dark Souls.
Yes, and I need the online service because
On
I want
Switch.
to ruin Carl's Dark Souls experience.
Go right ahead.
It's not Dark.
Go right ahead. I'll kick your ass.
It's not Dark Souls unless someone loads up and be like carlsucks.tm, then kills you with slaps. So,
I mean, to be
Look,
honest,
I'm still not like, but that's what I mean. It's sort of like there's nothing other than the fact that you need to pay the money to get the online play. There's nothing about Nintendo's online service that really makes me want it, other than the fact that I need to have it. It's like a tax.
don't
You
you
know?
want to use a shitty tertiary third-party app?
No.
But admittedly, if they do the Famicom rentals, like we are guessing they will,
Are they? But
I like that. That's something that will
the
make
fact that they're rentals and that you can't just download them forever is just dumb.
That's exactly like how PS Plus works. Where
Is it? No, you get the games, don't you?
I'm pretty sure if I lose my PS Plus subscription, I can't play those games anymore. But citation needed.
We'll put it in post.
Anyway, so what are you fuckboys looking forward to in the oncoming fortnight?
In the oncoming fortnight.
Which,
I'm looking forward to
Well,
getting
not
more
fortnight for
not
one.
Fortnite.
but you can play it on your Switch now.
I don't give a shit.
I'm invested in getting back into Forsaken. I'm the fucking drugs are in my veins already, so I'm ready to go. I'm also wanting to try and finish, or at least get through a bit more of Octopath Traveler, which I've still been playing. And as I say every week, spoiler alert, still a really good fucking game.
Yeah, I want to try and come back. We've got the Hollow Knight DLC that we need to play.
Oh yes, Hollow Knight DLC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which came out this week, just gone.
Yes.
Because we've been MMOing, we haven't played it
I'm
yet.
fucking down for that shit. Let's do that. That's gonna be fun. I really hope with that it'll be similar to the Carnival and will offer. It'll be another hard mode kind of thing.
I think it probably is.
The Carnival is by far the hardest fucking thing in that game.
Yes,
it's harder than the final boss.
They're going to release an easy Hollow Knight expansion that's totally in character and utterly plausible.
No, I mean like it could be in line with the rest of the main game. Because like to me, main game is here. Even Radiance, like the true final boss of that game, is here.
Dude, spoilers!
No one who knows who that is. That's just a fucking name. This is the great thing about a game not having any like talking from the main character. You don't know. You're like, oh cool, this thing I now have to kill. Like that doesn't matter. But like, so the final boss is here for me. Fucking the final boss of the Carnival DLC is like fucking up here.
But like
way harder.
But
way
like,
fucking harder.
The point is, all the DLC they've ever released has been harder than the final boss.
Absolutely. 100%. I was thinking the final boss, the true final boss would be like,
So
push my shit in. And I was like, oh man, I just beat the DLC bosses before this. You're fucking nothing. I'm still fine.
Hey, you guys ready for Super Seducer 2 that's on the way out?
no.
This sounds like an anime terrible
It is.
pandy game.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep, cool. Great.
So-
Called it in one.
So what I'm looking for...
So no, I'm not excited for it.
So I'm looking forward to 2 games. So I have a super exclusive edition of SNK Battle Heroines in the mail at the moment, which yes, and that is a panty fighter, based on the SNK friend thing. So
All right, Adam, put your best disapproving glare on.
do you know Mai Shiranui, like the Do you play any like SNK games? I think she showed up in Dead or Alive at some point. Anyway.
So for the uninitiated, what's SNK stand for?
I don't know. That's the company name.
Oh, right.
King of Fighters.
King of Fighters.
King of Fighters.
I can tell you.
Fatal
yes.
Fury, Garou Mark of the Wolves.
Fuck, I think, is her name Momoko?
I'm pretty sure Momoko's in it.
Momoko's made an appearance in Dead or Alive.
So-
I think there's one more that I can't fucking
So
remember.
the premise of this game is someone has captured all these ladies and put them on an island to fight out to the death. You don't have their traditional uniforms to start off
please.
with.
Yep.
They're like, for example, my Shiranui's one's a cow outfit. It's great.
Why, Ben?
And on top of that, the game...
I'm like, why? And Ben's just like, because I want to look at anime girls.
So I want to play a fighting game and beat off at the same time. I mean, I play Dead or Alive. I'm not gonna fucking
Dead
slam
or
anyone.
Alive, painted in one-hand control scheme.
Yeah.
On top of that, this game has the worst fighting system I have ever seen in a video game.
So naturally, you're fucking pumped.
Is it worse than Sonic the Fighter?
Is it worse?
Oh, yeah, it looks like it, by the way. It honestly does.
Is it worse than Xena?
You know,
A game you mastered in 20 minutes. Put it that way.
I don't know. I gotta get more hands-on time.
Well,
with it.
if by mastered you mean found the broken character and his broken move,
I was
and
I
spammed it.
learned the combo string,
Pissed everyone off with it. Sure.
and then
you mastered it.
it's worked for 2 years running. And then
gonna make it 3 from 3.
Yeah.
Except we get there and so we're talking about the Xena tournament at PAX Australia.
For some reason, they have a fucking Xena tournament.
it runs every day.
and
Ben has won it every year.
and we'll get there this year to find out that they've cancelled it because due to Ben.
Oh, Ben's photos up in the fucking hall. Be like, don't let this dude play.
Last year I was because they run one every day, and so I won the first one, and
Do
I'm
you
like,
turn up every day?
no.
Oh, please do this year.
God, no. And so I was, and
Just
then,
take everyone's fun.
It's like
so I spent the rest of the day teaching the people who are going to play tomorrow, and I'm like, this is how you play. If they're going to do this, you hit that button, and if they're doing that, hit the other one.
They're like, holy shit, someone that cares about this game.
Incidentally,
they get there and they're like, is he here? Is he here? He's not here. We can have an actual tournament this time, and then he from behind the TV he just stands up.
in the background. Incidentally, I work with someone who's also won that.
Can you please next time can you actually get the John Cena ringtone on your phone and then like play it and run in to
I gotta get a
competition?
Xena tournament belt and be like,
Fuck. Oh my god.
Also Spider-Man. I probably should play Spider-Man sometime. You know,
I really want to play that fucking game.
I was trying to work out the best way I could
Buy a console, Adam.
Buy a fucking PlayStation 4.
I was
Buy a real console.
See, I was going through the stages of like how I could annoy Adam the most.
I'm
with this.
already annoyed.
Like, do I buy the game and not play it? Do I not buy the game? Do I buy the game?
Just don't tell me and know that I'm always salty about it.
Buy the game and give it to him, and he'd be like, "Hey, I heard you like Spider-Man. Here's the new game for you."
I was like, do I buy the game, bring it over, use it as a coffee coaster? I very nearly brought it just to like break it in front of Adam on a podcast. Is $60 too much to be petty?
I just want to play it. Like, and the funny thing is, this game is just like, the reviews on it are fucking insane. People are like, this is the best Spider-Man. I mean, okay, there have been some awful Spider-Man games.
Yeah, like Spider-Man versus the goddamn fucking Kingpin.
Nah, you guys are just garbage to that
That game is trash, and you know it.
I was going to say, is the new Spider-Man better than Spider-Man versus the Kingpin?
Yes. I assume so, yes.
Yeah.
I would hope so. If they haven't progressed since the 1990, it's probably a problem.
A modern classic.
Modern classic. No, but
Beautiful.
people are already saying it's better than
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
2,
2, which was a really fucking good game.
And
It's actually not that good now if you go back and play it.
It doesn't
one that
matter
was really
which
good.
Spider-Man 2 you talk about, because the second Spider-Man game is always really good. Like Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro for the PS1 is like the premium shit of PS1 games.
That's really good. That's a really fucking good
and
game.
then Spider-Man 2, the movie tie-in,
is also really good.
And Amazing Spider-Man 2 was okay.
It was better than Amazing Spider-Man 1 video game.
Which is the one that was really bad?
Which one?
There's so
Which
many.
one? Spider-Man
So
versus...
many.
Look, arguably some ports of Maximum Carnage were really bad as well.
There was also, I think the movie tie-in for number 3 was shit as well.
I do have to get my hands on that. And the
yeah.
other thing is, I picked
And
up...
the Amazing Spider-Man 1 I played, but it was kind of...
I picked up Iron Man
repetitive and boring.
2, the movie, the video game, the experience.
Get ready for that shit. What, is that on PlayStation 3?
It's Xbox 360.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Get ready for terrible.
Yeah.
You think an Iron Man game would be good, right?
Yeah, you think it wouldn't be hard to fuck up an Iron game. Womp.
Yeah.
But, by the way, Thor video games tend to be pretty good.
No.
But I still have to get my hands on some.
But yeah, so Spider-Man's great. Everyone should play it, except for me, apparently.
Because you own an Xbox. You did this to yourself.
I'm waiting for the reveal when they come. Like, they'll never come to PC ever. Maybe next year they might do Xbox.
Well,
Well, see, because Sony has the Spider-Man license and the own console, why the fuck would they let anyone else get their hands on it?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
No, they might release... They
might release it on Switch.
They might release it for other consoles after the hype is basically gone. They're like, hey, we can just make a couple of dollars off the Xbox people.
Yeah. Those Xbox plebeians.
So yeah. So
Carl.
get ready for my review of Spider-Man 4 in 2020.
Carl, what are you doing the next weekend? Fortnite or so.
I need to tear myself away from WoW long enough to try and also make some Octopath progress.
Yeah.
Also, listen to music.
Yeah.
What's music?
Dude, is fucking listen to Eminem's new album. It's
Oh
great.
shit! Did you guys see the clipping doing a Rick and Morty track? I linked it earlier.
No.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! No, we're gonna have to end this podcast so I can go fucking watch that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Let's get out of here.
God damn!
Got better things to be doing.
Right.
Let's do it.
Thank you very much, guys, for staying with us. Please, if you've made it through this far, please like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're listening to us in the audio version with your ears, I assume, please rate and review us on iTunes. That helps us out a lot. This is also on SoundCloud, so you can also follow the channel through SoundCloud as well, and also like the track itself. We also have a huge Discord community, which is really good. We share a whole bunch of stuff in there. We usually put up all our links to our upcoming videos and stuff, but also have heaps of conversations about video games, movies, Netflix, a whole bunch of shit. Play D&D on there. We do fucking everything. So
please come tell Ben that he's bad.
Yeah, so come and join. That's a whole bunch of fun. That's most of my days now. So, so thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Peace.
Huh.